Hello, and welcome to the Quad Life. Well, it's another day, and therefore another entry for Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. Today, we're going to look at costs of spinal cord injuries. Well, as we have seen earlier, your level of injury really depends on what your needs are. So, someone with a lower level injury, say a sacral or thoracic injury, well, they don't need as much care as they're able to do things more independently. And therefore, the cost is less for these individuals for over lifetime. But let's take a look here and see what is some averages that are given. So, we have been here before, but we'll look at resources given by the Christopher Reeve Foundation. So it says here at the beginning that the figures below are taken from the Facts and Figures fact sheet published by the National Spinal Cord Injury Statistical Center in 2021. That's a mouthful, but there you go. According to this, the most common spinal cord injuries are first, incomplete tetraplegia. And if you remember back a few days ago, I said that there are kind of two terms used for high-level spinal cord injuries. Quadriplegic, which is what I normally use, as well as tetraplegic. And this site normally uses tetraplegic instead of quadriplegic. So just remember that, and that the two terms are, as far as I can tell, they are completely interchangeable. And that incomplete means you have some feeling and or function below your level of injury, and complete means, of course, that you don't. And therefore, the very top one, incomplete tetraplegia, is what I am. So therefore, I have a very high level injury of C2-3, and I have a little bit of feeling below my level of injury, as well as some control. AKA, I can shrug my shoulders, which is technically just below my injury level, but that's it as far as movement. So now let's look at what they say are average yearly costs. So on the top of the list, we have the high tetraplegia. They say within the first year, which would include initial hospitalization and rehab and recovery, is over $1.1 million. And then for each subsequent year is over $200,000. Well, that sounds like quite a bit. And we can see that the lower level injuries, lower tetraplegia, C5 through 8, first year is $840,000, and each subsequent year is $124,000 basically. And then following, they get lower down. And we'll look at the next category here in a little bit. I know you can see on the screen. But for the first level there, the high tetraplegia, which again is my injury level for the subsequent years, I actually think that's a bit low. I know that they're averaging everything from C1 to C4, which are similar needs, but you still get quite a bit of variety. So let's look at one factor that for me of nursing care, which we went over yesterday, that for my daytime hours of just my regular 10-hour days, that can be $150 plus my nighttime costs, which are another nearly $500, let's say. So that is $650 a day in just nursing alone. So let's look at this and just for that cost. So I know you can't see it, but I have my calculator up and I'm taking 650 times, let's go with 300 days a year, because I don't get my 10 hours a day every day, but I do get every night. But yeah, just to make it a little bit more fair, my cost in nursing care alone in 1 year, just very roughly estimating, is $195,000. And this sheet here says that they're estimating every year is $202,000. So that leaves only $7,032 of the year for all my medical supplies, which that costs probably another $500 or so a month. So that's $6,000 there alone. Again, just roughly estimating. So it's maybe not as low as I initially expected, but I still say that's kind of low, for at least for me. But at any rate, it's expensive. And these rates do change through the years. I know that when I was initially injured and the insurance that I was on, it had a lifetime capacity or lifetime cap of spending of $1 million. And if I got to that point of 1 million before I turned 18, then I would have lost insurance and would not have been able to get back on any again. And I know that after I turned 18, we had gotten to just over 1 million in spending. And thankfully before that, my lifetime cap went up to 2 million. But let's just say in 15 years of going from when I was injured at age 3 to 18, that time alone was about $1 million. However, that was 1985 to, let's just say, 2000, which of course costs have changed in, let's say, nearly 40 years, correct? But that is some of the current estimates. So let's go down here a little bit more and look at estimated lifetime costs. Now, again, it's saying for a high level that someone injured at 25, that their lifetime costs will be around 5.1 million, and someone injured at 50 will be about 2.5 million. And again, this depends on how many years you live, of course, and that'll be the subject of another video later on. But for me, even looking at their figures of, say, $202,000 a year, and for me, 37 years post-injury. According to that, just that alone, my cost is almost $7.5 million. And as I said, things have changed over the years. But from my experience, that is what my estimate cost has been so far for having my high-level spinal cord injury. In short, it's expensive to break your neck, and I would not recommend it. But I'm thankful that I do have funding. Right now, my primary funding is through private insurance, which is through my dad's employer. And then I also use state insurance, which is called Medicaid, and that covers some of my costs as well, especially my daytime nursing. And it is through those that it is actually, quote, cheaper for the state to keep me living here at home instead of at a nursing care or at a nursing home or long-term care facility. It's unfortunate that politicians, that's what they look at is costs, and as long as I have private insurance, then it's better for me to stay at home. However, that also means my dad cannot retire right now, even though he is at retirement age. And for those that are not in the United States, it may not make sense as you have different funding and state resources, but that could be a whole nother long video. But I think we're getting to the point now that this is going to be about where I'm going to end it for today. And if I get enough questions below about further insurance questions, then I will go into it again on another video. But that is it for today and Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. So again, I appreciate you watching very much, and if you like these, please give it a thumbs up, and please share your these videos as well. I mean, I know I'm not the most interesting or articulate person, but hey, if they're beneficial to you, then please let others know, and maybe we can help them as well. But thank you, and bye for now.